All right. How's everyone doing? You guys doing good? I hope you're having a terrific Wednesday. Gosh, thank you so much, all of you, for being here with us today. It is our pleasure to host this webinar. I am your host, Eric Thompson. I am president of Ninja Coaching. This is a workshop we put together for you called Real Estate Reviews Made Easy. We're going to be together for an hour. And again, we are just super grateful. Number one, that you're part of the Ninja Nation. Also that you are engaging with this webinar today. And let's dive in, shall we? So let me ask you this question, all right? Let's start with the question. The question is this: who believes that real estate reviews are an amazing way, have amazing potential as a way to build your business? Absolutely, right? You absolutely believe that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. That, of course, is why you're here. So I want to make you a few promises, okay? As we start our time together today, I want to make you a few promises. Promise number one, my friends, you will get a ton of takeaways around real estate reviews. Okay, you're going to see what to do, what not to do. You're going to see what to put inside of them, what not to put inside of them. You're going to get the dialogues to invite someone, to get someone excited to engage with you, to look at a real estate review. You're going to get the easy, simple ways to follow up. You're going to get all of that. You're also going to get examples. I'm going to put examples for you on the screen so that you see how these work in real life. You also need to know that there's a lot of science behind this, right? Of course, you know that already. You're going to see the science behind it, the reasons why these approaches are so effective. You also need to know that there's no test, so you don't have to worry about that. I also promise you we're going to have some fun together. Is it okay if we have some fun? Please say yes. I hope that you're okay with that. So we have so many people here live. Super, super grateful for that. You hopefully have a clean sheet of paper. Okay, I want you to have a clean sheet of paper in front of you. We're going to be doing work together today on this easel. I'll be giving you takeaways from this easel. There will also be moments where I'm sharing my screen. One of those is coming up right now. So I want to preface this with something that you already know. What you already know is this stuff works, right? TSW, this stuff works. And so what I want you to know, what I want you to just realize to be true as we start today, this stuff I'm about to show you, it works. It absolutely works. I want to show you an email that I received from my really good friend, my main man, Scott Matthias. Scott is a realtor, a ninja extraordinaire in Denver, Colorado. He's an incredible person. I did this exact same workshop for his company. His company is called Madison and Company in Denver. I did it back in February. I want you to see this email I got from him on March the 26th. He said, "Hello, sir." I'm not sure why he's calling me sir. I don't know if I want to be called sir, but Scott reached out to me and said, "Hello, sir. I have done a whopping 50 plus reviews since your amazing class. More importantly, I've listed 3 properties as a direct result, with 2 more coming on or before June." Now, he goes on to ask me kind of a technical question about FHFA. By the way, we're going to talk about that today. But I want you to see, you guys, that this stuff works. This exact content I'm about to share with you, it worked for Scott. Now, here's the thing. He did 50. You don't have to do 50 over the course of a month. Now, if you did 50 over the course of 6 months, that would be terrific. That'd be fantastic. What you need to know is that this stuff works. This will absolutely get you results, okay? So what do you know from the Ninja 9? What's your challenge? What's your charge? What's your commitment? Because you're ninjas from the Ninja 9, it's how many per week? How many real estate reviews are we offering? Are we delivering? Are we showing to our clients per week? It's two a week. Now I want you to imagine the scenario. It's 1 year from today. It's a year from today, and you've made a commitment to do that, at least 2 a week. And let's pretend that over the course of a year, you took some weeks off, right? You were on vacation, you took a break, and let's pretend that there were 45 weeks over the course of the next 12 months where you committed to do 2 a week. How many would that be over the course of a year? That would be 90 real estate reviews. Imagine if you offered 90 real estate reviews and you did it in the way I'm about to show you. Might that make a difference? Would that be attractive to your clients? Would we generate some business? Would we delight our clients? Would we build goodwill? Would we spread all kinds of value? Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to commit to that. Okay, so I need your commitment that as long as you believe what I show you today is going to work, as long as you see that it's simple, it's easy, it's straightforward, you're going to commit to 2. I need your commitment on that, right? Just let's make an oath right now. We're going to commit to doing 2, right? We're ninjas. We're going to help our clients in this way. We're going to commit to do. Okay, terrific, fantastic. You are on board with that. No surprise. All of you are great ninjas. This is our agenda today. This is what I'm going to show you today. This is what I'm going to help you with today. In our hour together, I'm going to show you exactly what to include, all right? I'm going to walk you through what to include, then I will show you examples. I'm going to show you some variations, all right, to unlock some potential for you to see there's all kinds of possibility when it comes to real estate reviews. There is no one way to do it. As long as it's valuable, that's all that counts. So I'm going to show you that, all right, exactly what to include with examples. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to walk you through how to invite someone to engage with that real estate review in a very user-friendly, a very ninja way, a non-pushy, non-salesy way. Included in that also will be how to follow up. In case you are taking the approach of you're going to send these through the mail, I'll show you how to follow up in a very user-friendly, very ninja way. Number 3, I'm going to walk you through who should receive them. Now, in some cases that is straightforward. In some cases it's nuanced. I'm going to show you probably some new opportunities, new possibilities on who to send them to. And then the way we're going to wrap up, be sure you stay till the end because I'm going to show you how to get even more help. If you want even more hands-on help with these, I'm going to give you a complimentary resource on how to do that. Okay, so how are we doing so far? Does that sound like a plan? Does that look like the main questions you have coming into today? Is that going to be able to give you the ability to check some questions off the list and give you clarity, give you the ability to move forward with confidence? Looks like yes. Let's do this. Okay, you guys, let's just be clear up front. When we talk about real estate reviews, let's talk about what it is. Like when we create one for a client, let's talk about what it is and also get clear about what it's not. Right? Let's just start with this, the basics. First things first. There are some things that they are and there are some things that they are not. And we sometimes see this in coaching, we see this get confused. So first things first, what it is, this is a snapshot. This is a really great word to use with your clients when you're describing it to them, when you're following up on it, when you're showing it to them, when you're describing it ahead of time. Maybe you're going to offer to send them one based on a conversation that you're having, and you're going to offer that as a follow-up. What it is a snapshot. It's a snapshot of recent activity that helps you, client, to stay up to date on what's happening in the market, even if you're not thinking about selling anytime soon. All right, so what I just said is really important. I would encourage you to write it down. I will say it again. What this is, what I'm going to send you, what I'm showing you now, what I sent you in any case, and we'll go through those. What this is a snapshot of recent activity in your community, in your neighborhood, in your building, whatever it is, that's helpful to show you and help you to stay up to date on what's happening in the market, even if you're not thinking about selling anytime soon. And the reason why we add that even if onto the end of that is because we don't want them to believe or have this come across that the only reason we're doing this is to get them to list their home, okay? So what it is, it's a snapshot of activity that shows you recent activity in your neighborhood to help you stay up to date on what's happening in the market, even if you're not thinking about selling anytime soon. Period, end of story. Is that helpful as a dialogue? Okay, so it is a snapshot, right? So what it's not, because it is not a CMA. There was a time and a place, of course, for CMA. If you're going to be listing someone's home, they have asked you for your help to sell their home. You're gonna have a listing consultation. You're putting together a CMA with all of the detailed analysis. Also with all of the items you do to help to market their property. All the amazing things you do, like virtual tours and Matterports and videos and your networks that help to promote and market that property across the globe. That's appropriate in the CMA. That does not belong in the real estate review because it's a snapshot. Okay, so I'll show you a checklist of what to include here in a moment, but please know what's not on that checklist would be that detailed information about all the things that you do for a seller. Now, those things are terrific, they're wonderful, but they're not relevant to this person. And potentially this real estate review comes across the wrong way. Okay, so they might say, well, wait a minute, time out. Are they trying to convince me to sell my home? Look at all this marketing stuff in here. I mean, it's great, good for them that they're part of this worldwide network, but it's not relevant to me. So you would, of course, include a resume, a bio. Again, I'll show you a checklist in a minute, but it's a snapshot of activity. Okay, so this is many pages long. Could be 30 pages. This is 6 or 8 pages. Okay, it's a snapshot. It's not a CMA. Okay, are you with me? So we're not spending hours on this. Okay, we're spending minutes on this. It's still valuable, but it's a snapshot. It's a gift. This is an absolute gift. You know why? Because people are so curious about their real estate. They really want to know what's happening right now in the real estate market. So what it's not a solicitation. So just in case you are feeling apprehensive about moving forward with real estate reviews, that might be because you are seeing this as a solicitation. You're worried that your client will feel this as a solicitation. With the dialogues I'll give you today, that is going to help with that. But it starts with your mindset, right? We're ninjas, it goes mindset, skill set, action. So it starts with your mindset. Your mindset is this is a gift. This is a gift. One of our coaches, Lisa Connors, has come up with this great phrase that we're all smiling about, kind of laughing about within our coaches group, within our 20 Ninja coaches. And so she says, you know what we need to do right now? We need to be the good news hotline. I'm looking down at my notes to make sure I get it right. We need to be the good news hotline. Be the good news hotline. Is there right now some bad news out there? Is there some confusing news, some changes, some uncertainty, some drama, all we have to do is open up our Facebook feed, our news feed. We're seeing all that where, you know what? This is a gift. So we're bringing people a gift that they're so curious about, right? And so it's so helpful to them to know what's happening in the real estate. And it's so comforting for them because you know what? Real estate, and this comes from our coach, Eric Zimmerman. What's great about real estate is you don't have to refresh your phone every few minutes to see what's happening with the value, right? Like some people have been doing with the stock market over the last 10 days or so. We don't have to do that, right? So this is like reinforcing that. So can you believe, can you see, can you commit in your mindset that this is a gift? This is absolutely a gift. So why do we do them? Why are they so effective? You guys, those of you that have been through the installation recently know this. We talk about thing one and thing two. There's thing one and thing two. And what we mean is really, if we were to distill it down, and if we were to encourage you, coach you, challenge you to do 2 things to attract more business, there are only 2. There are 2 things, thing one, thing two. Thing one is 50 live interviews in a week. Thing two is what? It's 2 real estate reviews in a week. So here's the deal. This works. We see it over and over and over. We have hundreds of coaching clients all across North America, even in Europe. And we see time and again, this absolutely works. So why is that? There are 3 reasons why. 3 reasons why this works, 3 reasons why you're going to commit to do this. Number 1, people are inherently curious about their real estate. They ask us about real estate. They say to us, how's the market? Have you ever been at a Starbucks or another coffee shop or on an airplane or in any public setting, and you start to hear the real estate conversations? People love to talk about real estate. They're so inherently curious about real estate. Adding to this is the media. The media fuels this. Think about all the television shows there are about real estate. Think about all the stories there are about real estate. People are so curious about real estate. So what you're doing with the real estate review is you're answering a question that they already have, okay? And I joke and say, you know, if we were in the life insurance business, all respect to life insurance salespeople, they do really important work. This is not true, okay? No one is coming up to the real estate agent and saying, yeah, so how's the real estate agent market business? Now, people might be curious to know how that person is doing, but they're not asking those kind of people about their business in the way that they ask us about their business. People are so curious about real estate. So we're answering a question they already have. Number 2, think about all the statements that your clients get on a periodic basis. Oftentimes monthly. They get a monthly what? They get a monthly bank statement, credit card statement, Edward Jones, Charles Schwab, Ameritrade, something like that statement every single month. and yet they don't get a real estate statement. And we're not suggesting that you do one for your clients every month. What we are suggesting is that they should receive this every year. It's very important because of the value in their real estate versus the value in their bank account versus the value in their Charles Schwab. It, for most people, far exceeds the value in those other things, the value in their real estate, yet they're not getting a statement. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer value, something that they're already curious about. It is very important because it's so valuable. And the last thought I would offer you here, we call these people our clients, right? So when we interact with you, we say, well, how many people in your database? How many clients are in your database? How many people are you in flow with every month, right? And you refer to those people as your clients because there's no such thing as a past client. They're all current clients. Well, you know what you do for a client? You know what you do for a client is you serve them. You serve a client. So if someone is your client, you serve them. So the way that you serve them, the way that you help these people is with a real estate review. It's just what we do. Imagine if Edward Jones decided, you know what, I think we're gonna stop sending statements. We don't really feel like it. Of course, they would never do that, right? Because it's what they do. What would happen if you adopted the mindset of this is what I do. This is what I do for my people. It's part of my service. These people I serve, I take care of them. In many ways, this is one way. So a little bit of a soapbox, and I want to motivate you and encourage you to commit to doing this. So are you with me? Are you seeing why they're so powerful? Okay, here we go. This is what you want to include. And again, in one more, I'm going to show you this, and then one more piece of paper. Then I'll show you examples to really make this point. But you want to, by the way, I'm seeing a couple questions that I'll answer. This is going to help answer those. You want to write this down. This is just your basic, simple checklist on what it is that you want to include. Okay, so we need to start with a cover letter. All right, you can do this very easily. Put together a professional cover letter. And what you want to ensure goes in that cover letter is the language that I shared with you back just a few minutes ago, where you would say to them, this is a snapshot of recent real estate activity in your neighborhood. This is a helpful way to stay up to date on what's happening in the market, even if you're not thinking about selling your property anytime soon. Okay? And the reason why, again, we put that even if language in there is because we don't want them to say to themselves, oh my gosh, is she trying to just convince us to sell our home? Like, you put that right in there. I know some ninjas that they even highlight that, they underline that. If you want to, if that makes you feel more comfortable, more confident about doing that, then do that, okay? So that's an effective phrase. By the way, I'll show you some example cover letters and ways to do this here in a minute. So then you want to have a really professional looking cover page. All of you have the ability to do this, to have these items, because all of you have the ability to put together a really professional looking CMA. So you're going to build your real estate review in the same platform that you use to build your CMA. Same thing, but it's much more condensed. We already mentioned before, this is not a CMA, but you're going to use the same platform that you use to build your CMA. Okay, so it might be Cloud CMA, it might be KV Core, it might be Canva. It might be some other platform that you use within your company. It really doesn't matter, right? What matters is you make it easy, simple, straightforward. So you're gonna have a really nice professional looking cover page that has their name on it, has their address, either a picture of their home, if you have a professional picture of their home, or a beautiful picture of your area, of your community. I'll show you some examples of that. Then what you wanna do is you wanna have 5 to 8 comps. Okay, so comps intentionally is put into quotes here, okay? Because they do not have to be apples to apples comparables. If you are putting together a CMA, if you are doing an analysis on someone's property, if you're about to have a conversation with a seller about selling their home and you're gonna help them to make a good decision on price, then absolutely, you're taking a deep dive on apples to apples comparisons. You're spending a lot of time on that. But in a real estate review, because it's a snapshot of recent activity, you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to spend the time, spend the energy to do that in detail. I live in a 2-story home. So by the way, you should know I'm recording this and making this video in Fort Collins. It's not a recording. This is this is live, right here in Fort Collins, right from the world headquarters of Ninja Selling. I live about 6 minutes from right here. I live in a 2-story home. In my neighborhood, there are 1-story homes. So if you were my realtor and you're putting together a real estate review and you pull some recent sales and you find that there are a couple 2-story recent sales and there are a couple 1-story recent sales, you would absolutely put the 1-stories in there, okay? Because it's going to be interesting to me to see recent activity. So you get 5 to 8 comparables. And you can show them in many ways. You could have just a single sheet for each one. Maybe you have the ability to show side by side. That can be really effective. Maybe you have the ability also to show them on a map where they are. Again, I'm going to show you some examples here in a minute, but you show them in that way, right? Then what you do is you make notes on there, okay? Make handwritten notes. So find something that's interesting from that transaction, from that comp, again in quotes, highlight it, circle it, right? Put an exclamation point, put a note, this is a big deal, this is relevant to you, this is really interesting, we should talk about this, right? Something like that that brings it to life, okay? And what you're doing when you do that is you are showing your expertise. You're showing them that some things that maybe they're not able to see on their own, okay? So that might be days on market. It might be, and it could be 2 days, it could be 200 days, right? One of those two things, either extreme, those are both really interesting. It might be the fact that the final sales price was for more than list price. It might be the fact that the final sales price was for much more than list price. You could put that, notice the difference. Highlight, exclamation point. We should talk about this. This is really interesting. Again, you're showing your expertise. I liken it to going to the doctor. I just had my knee operated on a few weeks ago. Okay, so when I go to the doctor to look at an X-ray, and the doctor puts the X-ray up on the projector, if I'm looking at it on my own, I'm not going to really know what I'm looking at. Okay, I might say, oh, I think that looks like a knee. But it's only when the doctor comes in and then shows me, do you see that right there? Do you see that, Eric? Then I say, oh yeah. And then the doctor says, do you know what that is? No, well, here's what it is, right? And then I say, oh, now I get it. See, that's the doctor showing their expertise. So you do the same thing here, right? When you bring it to life with notes. So put notes on those pages. Also have some higher level market info. Now, what a lot of people do is that they put it right here. They kind of think about big picture to small picture. So it can be effective to do some high level market info and then drill it down to show it in more detail. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some high level market info. Then we'll look at these 5 to 8 comps. The other thing that's in the cover letter, and we're gonna get into this on the next page, is it says to them, if you choose to not put a value, it says to them, if you are curious to know what your property is worth in today's market, I'm happy to do that research for you. I'm happy to do that work for you. Just let me know. Again, that language in the cover letter would be, if you are curious to know what your property is worth in today's market, I'm happy to do that research. I'm happy to do that work for you. Just let me know. Then you wrap this up with a bio resume. This is the last page, not the first page. It's the last page again, because you don't want this coming across as a marketing piece. You want it coming across as an information piece. I saw that lots of great comments in here, by the way. I saw there was a question, a comment about doing it digital versus print. You absolutely want to do this in print. You absolutely want to do this in print. There are 2 ways to do this. You hand deliver it, or you put it in the mail. Email only works if they are absolutely expecting it, or for some reason, if they absolutely don't like getting things by print. Otherwise, you're going to send it in the mail or you're going to hand it to them. Here's the deal. People learn in one of 3 ways. You guys know this because they're ninjas. You've been through the ninja installation. What are the 3 ways that people learn? They learn through their ears, through their eyes, and they also learn kinesthetically by touching. A third of the population are kinesthetic learners. So if you only send it by email, you miss all those people. A third of the population wants to hold it. Now, and the other 2/3 will appreciate the visuals. They'll appreciate the conversation. Are you with me on that? Okay, so that's why print is so important. Plus, emails get lost, emails get deleted, emails don't get opened, emails don't work, right? And that is absolutely based on our research. Okay, so we're about to get to, in a little bit, we'll get to how to present it. Yeah, definitely want to get a binding machine, something that will bind it spiral or with a cool spine thing. Hey, you could do it in a pocket folder. If all of you have access to really professional pocket, you could do that, but bound is better. It doesn't have to be. Just make sure it's something that you feel really proud of. Okay, here's the thing on value. What I mean right here by value, I mean a valuation of their property. Okay, I'm not questioning if this is valuable or not. It's valuable. What we're talking about on this page is, should you include a valuation of their property? Okay, so you have 3 choices. All of these work. I'm going to walk you through some pros and cons of each. All of them work. Okay, you pick what's right for you, what's right for the client based on your style, your personality, based on the style, personality of the client, based on your relationship with them. All those things will determine which direction you go. All of these work. Option 1 is to be as specific. So when you put together a real estate review, it does have a valuation. You do say, based on my research, based on what's happening in the market, this is what I believe your property to be worth. That's one option that you have. Okay. Another option is you give a range. You say, based on my high-level research of the market and knowing what's happening now, I believe if you were to sell your property, I believe it would sell somewhere within this range. That's an option. Your third option is none. Now, sometimes this really blows people away. They think, well, wait a minute, time out. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean none? You're just talking about how we should send a statement, and now you're saying none. Well, here's the deal. The most important thing is that you send something that's valuable, okay? And if you choose option 3, you put in the cover letter, again, if you would like to know what your property is worth in today's market, and I'm happy to help you with that, just let me know. Because to do this, you guys, as you know, really you should have a chance to look at the property and go inside. Really to do this, it takes a lot of time. And really, ultimately, because we're ninjas, what we do is we control the process, they control the decisions. So in a listing consultation, what works is for them to arrive at the price, for them to tell us the price. Okay, so this can get tricky if you choose option 1. And what can happen also is that if you go the direction of offering a value in the real estate review, it can turn into a debate that you never wanted, okay? And the debate is them saying, hey, Eric, thank you for this, but gosh, I'm confused. You think my property is worth this. I think it's worth this. And so, how'd you come up with that? I'm not so sure, right? And then all at once you're debating in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to do this. I just want to help this person out. I just wanted to spread goodwill. Eric did this webinar and he said I should do this thing, and now I'm in this debate. This feels icky and uncomfortable. So sometimes going specific can really paint you into a corner. Now, also, all that being said, sometimes this is the right answer because of your relationship with that person, their personality type, your knowledge of that property, your ability to price, all those things. So it's your call on what you want to do. What I would offer to you is if you choose number 3, it is absolutely still valuable as long as you do the things I'm about to show you. And also, you can invite it as a next step. You can invite the specific valuation as a next step, which then becomes fun. Now you can engage with them again, okay? Okay, I'm just taking a quick glance at the chat. I don't want to get too lost in the chat. What I do want to do, my friends, is it okay if I show you some examples? Would that be all right? Would you like to see some things that really work? Of course you do. So let's go. Okay, so this first one is from our good friend, Sarah Pelton. Sarah is a ninja extraordinaire. She's a ninja coach. She's in the Chicagoland. She is with At Properties. So look at this. This is a great example of just like the basic textbook process, content, flow that I mapped out for you a few minutes ago. So she has this wonderful cover page. Okay, a beautiful image. It's got their name. By the way, this is fake. Right, got the client, has a client's name, their photo, address. It's got this great cover letter. What's really fun about this, I'll blow this up a little bit, is I really like that she put in here, by the way, she partners with her husband, Sarah partners with her husband, Eric. So it's Eric and Sarah, so I'm saying she, it's the two of them together that work on this. I really like that they put in there, you purchased your home in 1992 for $255, homes within 3/4 of yours, currently selling for an average of 1.193. 4+ bedroom homes in River Forest have appreciated nearly 20% over the last year. Okay, this is helpful if you're considering a home equity loan, looking to remove mortgage insurance, simply curious, right? So it tees it up, right? It tees up what this is. We're always happy to help chat about your home's value, renovation ideas, etc. We can help with that. Isn't that a great way to get this introduced? So really professional cover letter, away we go. So now how are we starting? Well, we're starting big picture, right? So that's a way to approach this, go big to small. And you're saying, well, gosh, that's a really cool map. I don't have a map like that. Well, you do. You go to FHFA.gov, FHFA.gov. You know about FHFA already. We talked about a lot in Ninja. So it's an amazing resource. They produce a quarterly market report. They show you what's happening across the whole country. There are things you can grab from there, right? You can screenshot a lot from there, okay? That's where that national map comes from, FHFA.gov. Then she's got some more local data. So for the greater Chicagoland area, for River Forest, homes sold, average price, appreciation. Do you see how she's going big to small? Then she's got this I'm guessing, and I realize we have to turn our heads right now. I'm guessing this comes from her MLS, right? Showing some average price data. Okay, all of you have access to this kind of a thing. All of you do, through your MLS, through your company, through your local board or association of realtors. You'll have that. Well, then look, whoa, cool. She's got this map. She's got a map that shows the properties that she's about to show in detail. So these are the quote comps that she picked. She picked 10, but we'll give her a break on that. I said 5 to 8. The reason why I said 5 to 8, by the way, is so it doesn't become overwhelming, not too much, but 10, hey, 10 works. You can see there's a mixture. Some are under contract, some are active, some are closed. So pick a mixture so that she's got all those listed out. Oh, whoops, oh gosh, she went to 13. That's okay, we'll give her a break. So again, now we're going side by side, right? You guys get it? Side by side comparison. Now we're gonna wrap it up with the summary of all these. And then she's got their bio. There's Sarah and Eric right there. Bravo, Sarah, way to go. Would that be something you'd be proud of? Absolutely. Does that add value? Absolutely. Okay, let's look at another way to do it. Here's another one. So this is from one of our coaching clients, Pam Sheehan with C21. Good on Pam. This is beautiful. Professional cover letter, right? So this real estate review is a broad lens view of the real estate market nationally and regionally. Hope you find this valuable, right? Really straightforward. She is using, you guys, she's using RPR. I think this was coming up in the chat. You have so many different resources, and it's easy to get hung up, get caught up on, well, what should I use? What's the best way? What's the right way? All kinds of ways. Sarah used the platform she uses to build a CMA. What's being used here is a mini property report from RPR. All of us are realtors. You have access to RPR, Realtor Property Resource is what that stands for. This is called the mini property report. You can see the name of it at the top. So what she did, she went into RPR, typed in the address, spit this out. It took her like virtually no time, super easy to do. All this is put together, stats and charts, historical pricing information, etc. Not taking a lot of time on this, super valuable. Here's a list of some recent closed properties. Here are some details on each one of those properties. These are the kind of pages that you would write on. Okay, find the days on market, find the final sales price versus the list price, right? So like highlight the location, highlight if it was renovated, if it was remodeled, right? All those things you can really bring to life. What she did, which is great, she chose to put the FHFA information, some of it, at the back. That works too. You can put it toward the front, you can put it toward the back. So this is giving you an idea of what you would find on that website, fhfa.gov, and their quarterly market report. So it's got a summary of the market and a national map to show what's happening. Pretty cool. Next stop is Misty Kerpak, one of our coaching clients in Idaho. Now, you guys, this one is really fun and also powerful, effective to show you because of the way that Misty is doing this. She stops short of putting specific property information in here. This is a high-level market overview. Let me show you how this works. So she's got this great, beautiful cover page with that beautiful image, really professional. Then she's got this, teeing it up, little cover note, table of contents, right? National stats, local market, your neighborhood, how we can help. Okay, so then she starts with, you've seen this before, that's FHFA. So she gets the map from FHFA, she drops these stats in here. This is built in Canva, right? Really simple. Either you yourself or someone you know. Look, you are 1 degree of separation from someone who's really good at Canva. That would cost you virtually nothing to have them help you build a template that can be updated, okay? So she goes, big picture, what's happening in the market. These are all national stats. This graph, this bar chart, pardon me, I better take a sip of water. Getting choked up here, guys. This graph comes from FHFA, right, really simple. There are 2 counties that she serves. So she's got data and commentary for this county. So she picked 3 stats. Let's give the stats, let's give some commentary. So when you give that commentary, that you really show your expertise. Okay, MSI, by the way, is months of supply, months of inventory. This is the other county, same thing. And then, whoa, that's it. How else can we be of service? Amazing, there's nothing about a property in here. So how much time did she have to put into individuals? Hardly any. How many of these could she send to her market just like this as is? A whole lot. Does it add value? Absolutely. Does it spark great conversation? Absolutely. Might it get someone to say, yes, I am curious to know what my home is worth. Could you help me with that? Absolutely. So I want you to see through these examples, mostly what I want you to see is that there's so many ways to do this. There are so many ways to do this. So oftentimes in coaching, when we first start helping someone out, they come to us asking for help with real estate reviews, which we can offer. And often a mindset we find is a very fixed mindset where someone believes there's one only way to do it, and they need help figuring out that one way. Pardon me. The reality is there are many ways to do it. And we help you uncover the most authentic way to you that makes you feel good. I better take another sip of water. Okay. Very, very awesome. Great. Okay. So how are we doing so far? How are we doing so far? You guys getting some takeaways? Is this helpful? Great. I appreciate it. I'm going to take another sip of water. We're having some, it's definitely allergy season here in Colorado. Messing with my voice right now, but we'll be okay. I may have to grab a cough drop here in a moment, but fantastic. Okay, now I need to flip the piece of paper. Now that you know what they should look like and what they can look like, which is lots of different ways, let's talk about how to invite someone. Let's talk about also, if you are going to send it through the mail, how to follow up. What we find that if you would like this to really add value, of course you would. If you would like this to turn into business for you, to help you to get business on the books, to help you to attract clients, There are two ways to do it. Number one is a hand deliver. You give it to someone. That's method number one. Method number two is you send it through the mail and you follow up. So email does not work. Sending it through the mail with no follow-up doesn't work. So we're going to focus on what does work because TSW, the stuff works, okay? All right, so this is how to invite someone to do it. What you do is you commit to 2 a week, at least 2 a week. You don't overthink it, okay? You just make a list. Maybe you print your database alphabetically. And maybe week number one, the Andersons and the Andrews are going to get it. Then week two, the Baxters and the Browns, right? You get it. And just do it that way. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be on their anniversary. It can be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, pardon me, geez, tied to anything else specific. Just send it out, right? 2 a week is what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 a week. So what you say to them is you reach out using the 5-step calling process that you're taught in Ninja, right? Step 1 is hello. Step 2 is forward. Hey, how's the family been? What have you guys been doing for fun? Hey, tell you what, the reason for my call is I put together a packet of information. It's a snapshot of activity. Remember that word I used? It's a snapshot of activity, just shows you what's been happening recently in your market, helps you to stay up to date on what's happening. When's a good time to drop it off? Happy to just drop it off at your house. Is there a good time that I can do that? And they will say, great. And they'll say, yes, go ahead and drop it off. So go ahead and drop it off. Okay, so you arrive, they're there, or maybe they're not there. Maybe it turns out that they're not. Maybe they invite you in. Maybe it turns into a longer conversation. Maybe it's about 30 seconds. In either case, it's, hey, here you go. You can add to that. Again, the reasons why you're doing it. Hey, the reason why I'm doing this is it shows you what's happening in the market, right? I find it to be a really helpful way for people to stay up to date on what's happening in the market, even if they're not thinking about selling anytime soon. Okay, so again, I prepared a packet of information for you, shows you what's happening in the market because it's just a snapshot of recent activity. Hey, when's a good time to drop it off? All right, are you with me on that? So that's way number one. Thing number two that you can do instead of number one, or you can do in advance of number one or weave into number one, is to say to people, hey, there's a new service that I'm offering to people for my friends and clients. It's called a real estate review. It's a snapshot of activity that just shows you what's happening in your market. Recently, there seems to be a lot of questions about real estate right now. I'm getting a lot of questions about real estate right now. This is a helpful way to do it. All right, this is a helpful way for people to stay up to date on what's happening. By the way, I'll answer some of these questions in the chat here in a minute. Okay, there's a new service that I'm offering. The reason why I'm doing it is because there seems to be a lot of questions about real estate right now. So that is a really good framework, you guys, to say this is a new service. And the reason why you're doing it is because there seems to be a lot of questions about real estate right now. Does it seem like there are a lot of questions about real estate right now? Yes. Do people have real estate on their mind? By the way, might they be pleasantly surprised to see that prices are not falling in any big way? In a lot of cases in your markets, actually continuing to increase, even though interest rates are doing what they're doing, even though the stock market's doing what it's doing. Wouldn't that be a pleasant surprise for people? There seems to be questions. Okay, so this is how to invite someone. Hey, reason for my call. I put together a packet of information for you. It's just a snapshot of activity. It's a way for you to see what's happening in your community, in your neighborhood, just so you're really up to date on the market. And hey, I'm guessing you're not getting ready to sell your home anytime soon, but when's a good time to drop it off? It's a really helpful way to stay up on what's happening in the market. Simple as that. Okay, so could you do that? Absolutely you could. I mean, that's easy, right? Or you say that, hey, the reason for my call, there's a new service. So this is how you would start the reason for my call, step 3 of the 5-step calling process. The reason for my call is there's a new service I'm now offering to my friends and clients. It's called a real estate review. It just shows you what's happening in the market. It's just a recent snapshot. It's helpful even if you're not thinking about selling in anytime soon. I'm getting a lot of questions about real estate right now. Happy to drop it off. When's a good time to do that? Do you see how any of those can work? Any blend of those words? Does that make sense? Can you commit to do that? Please say yes. Okay, you're saying yes. Fantastic. Okay, how are we doing? We're doing good. Now, let's talk about actually before I talk about what to do when you send it through the mail. This strategy is going to make the in-person approach go even better. It will also make the mail strategy go even better. What you want to do, what we encourage you to do, what we would coach you to do is to announce it. Make an announcement of this new service. Okay, so if this is a new service, or maybe you're recommitting, or maybe you take out the word new because you're already doing it, but this will work for you too if you're already doing it, announce it, let people know. So announce it where? On social media. Announce it if you have a newsletter, if you have a print newsletter or electronic newsletter. Announce it at the closing table, okay? Let people know. So what that would sound like in social media or newsletter, you would say, hey, I wanted to let all my friends and clients know there's a new service I'm offering now. It's called a real estate review. There seems to be a lot of questions right now about real estate. This is a really great way to stay up to date on what's happening in the market. Even if you're not thinking about selling anytime soon, watch for it in the mail. I'll be working on yours soon. Be on the lookout for a call from me. Be on the lookout for this packet in the mail. Whatever it is, right? So announce it. So that way, when you reach out to someone to say, hey, I prepared a packet of information for you, they'll think, or they may even say, oh yeah, I know. I saw it. I saw your announcement on social media, in the newsletter. Great, I've been looking forward to this. So they won't be surprised, right? They won't be caught off guard. So go for it, announce it both of these places. Social media, newsletter, take a picture of it, right? Take a picture of what it looks like, get people excited, let them know that it's coming. And yeah, definitely let them know at the closing table that this is part of the service you'll provide to them, that they should expect an annual real estate review. I see someone has an idea about do a press release. Absolutely, yes, absolutely do a press release. Great idea, great idea. Okay, so is this helpful? Can you guys see how this would help? So we're finding all the ways for you to make it feel like it's something that they're expecting, something that they already know about, so it doesn't feel like a surprise, so it doesn't feel like something awkward you have to introduce. They already know about it. So related to that, I'm going to show you a really good strategy, effective strategy, a proven strategy if you're going to do this through the mail. Now, here's the deal. Face-to-face is the best. Okay, and the research backs that up. What we find is 30% of the time, when it's done face-to-face, it will eventually turn into something. More often than not, it's a referral that it turns into. Okay, sometimes it's a direct response where they say, it turns out we do want to sell, but more often than not, it's referral. So in person, 30% of the time. If it's mail, it's 15% of the time. Okay, so we encourage face-to-face. Now, some of you, for instance, in like resort markets, you have to do this pretty much by mail. Some of you take an approach of, you know what, I'm going to do 2 a week in person, and then I'll supplement that with real estate reviews through the mail. I'm going to do 2 a week in person, then I'll do 8 a week through the mail. If you're going to be ambitious, like Scott Matthias, who I talked to you about at the very beginning of this webinar. Okay, so you decide, okay? But just know face-to-face is better. Mail is the second best, as long as there's what? With follow-up. Okay, here's how to do it. First, well, obviously you put it together. Then you text them. You text them a picture of it. Okay, you text them a picture. And you say to them, hi, this is your annual real estate review. I'm going to put it right here. Capital A, capital R, capital R. This is your annual real estate review. The reason why you capitalize it is because it signifies it's a big deal, because it is a big deal, okay? This is your annual real estate review. I'm putting it in the mail. to you. Be on the lookout for it. I'll call you next week to follow up. Okay, so you break the ice, you follow up ahead of time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, someone's suggesting follow up with a Zoom. That's great too. That's great too. Okay, so text them a picture. Then you put in the mail, and then a week later, this is 1 week. 1 week later, you call them. Okay, so today is Wednesday. So if today is your real estate review day, you put two together, and then you're also calling two. You're calling the two from the previous week, right? And that's your pattern. You block an hour, and in that hour, you're doing two real estate reviews, and you're following up on the two that you sent the week before. This is what you say when you follow up, okay? So it's put in the mail, packaged up really nice. They are already expecting it. It arrives. You call a week later. And so this is what you say, right? So pay close attention to what I'm about to say. You say to them, and this, by the way, this works in a voicemail too, in case they don't pick up. You say to them, step through the calling process, say to them, hey, the reason for why I'm calling is I sent you the packet of information. I just want to make sure that you received it. Maybe you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, which is fine. I just want to make sure that you got it. Now, it's really important that you say both of those things. I sent you, want to make sure you received it. It's okay if you haven't looked at it. Is it because it reduces the awkwardness that might happen if you don't say the second part? So if you only say the first part, hey, I sent you that packet, they would say, yeah, Eric, we got it. I saw it in the mail. I'm so sorry. We haven't looked at it yet. And then you're like, no, it's okay. It's all right. You haven't looked at it yet. So you want to prevent that, right? You want to preempt that by saying, hey, I just want to make sure you got it. Maybe you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, which is totally fine. So I want to make sure you got it. They say, yes, Eric, I did get it. Thank you so much. You're right. We glanced at it, haven't looked at it in detail. You say, great. Hey, when I put it together, this is the second part of what you say. When I put it together, there were two things that really jumped out at me that I thought were interesting. Can I share those with you now? If it's a voicemail, you say to them, hey, when I put it together, there were two things that really jumped out at me. Call me back and I'll quickly walk you through what those were. So you guys, here's the deal. Always, when you put this together, you will find what? You will find at least two things that are interesting. Those are the things that you circled and highlighted and put an exclamation point next to. So when you're up here preparing it and then getting ready to call them a week later, you put in your notes, in your calendar for a week later, these are the two things I'm going to talk about. So when I'm calling the Browns about their real estate review, these are the two interesting things I found, and you're ready to share them. So here's the deal. What you don't say, what you never say is, yeah, so do you have any questions? What questions do you have? Don't say that, okay? Because that puts all the burden where? It puts all the burden on them. So instead, you bear the burden and you say, hey, when I put this together, there are two things that really jumped out at me. I thought were really interesting. Is it okay if I share those? They'll say, heck yeah, please. You share what those two things are. What do they say? They say, whoa, yes, that is interesting. And maybe the conversation keeps going. Or maybe that's the end, but that's okay. And guess what's going to happen? When they're talking to their friends, when they're talking to their relatives, and they're talking to their neighbors, they say, hey, guess what? I was talking to my realtor the other day. I was talking to Eric the other day. You know what he told me? He told me these couple of really interesting things. Because why? Because people love to talk about real estate. So you give them this information. It's interesting, it's valuable, and you show your credibility, you show your expertise. Do you see how that works? So you never say, hey, do you have any questions? You don't have to do that. Okay, so is that helpful? Do you see how that goes? Okay, great. Okay, really important. Who to send these to? Straightforward. Your warm list for sure. Your A's and B's and your C's. And keep going. These are straightforward. Who are your connectors? Who are the people in your sphere, in your database, who are especially connected to other people? They're in HR in their company. They own a company. They are the president of their association, their homeowners association. They're really involved in certain charities, certain groups, certain networks. Who are your super connectors? They need to get one. Who are your financial planners in your sphere? They need to get one because they will think about offering the same thing. They'll have you offer the same thing to their clients. Who are people who are the super connectors? And then send them to your neighborhood. It's a great way for you to get your real estate services introduced to your neighbors without it ever feeling pushy and salesy, right? You just say, hey, I'm your neighborhood realtor. I'm your friendly neighborhood realtor. This is a new service I'm offering to my friends and clients. Thought this would be helpful to you as your friendly neighborhood realtor to see what's happening in the neighborhood. Does that make sense? So these are the people that you would send it to. Okay, has this been helpful? You guys get some value, get some, did you get some help, did you get some takeaways? Do you see how this works? Do you see what to do? Do you see what to say? Do you want more help? We want to offer you more help. We can offer you more help. If you want more help, if you want to take this to the next level, if you want to get this implemented, this is what we can do to help you. What I'm going to offer to you through Ninja Coaching, this is complimentary, by the way, through our, we have 20 world-class, terrific Ninja coaches. Okay, so what we can offer you is a consultation. You can be on Zoom with them, and they'll help you even more with your real estate reviews. You can show them what you're doing. You can show them what you're thinking. You can get the feedback on what you're already doing. You could say to them, hey, show me more examples. I need to see that one example again. How would I word this cover letter? What should I exactly include? I keep having this problem, this issue with my real estate reviews. This has always been in my way. Can you get it out of my way? We're here to help you, okay? So a complimentary consultation. So we'll show you more examples where we will review what you're already doing. We're gonna help you implement a game plan. So here's the deal. Here's how to do this. I'm gonna put on the screen a QR code. And if you want this complimentary offer, what you're gonna do is you are going to scan this QR code and you are going to be taken to a page, a really easy page. It's just a form where you're just gonna pop in your name, your email, and I'm gonna get that email, and then I will connect you with a coach to help you out, okay? What I'm also gonna do is I'll send you information on our coaching. So if you want to get this implemented, if you have ever thought about having a coach help you, if you've ever been curious to know, gosh, what would it be like to have a Ninja coach with me side by side? What would that even look like? How's that work? If you're just simply curious, we'll give you that information so that you can be enlightened, empowered, make good decisions from there. You can connect with a coach for an hour complimentary. I just put a link in the chat for where you get taken with this QR code. So you just fill out that form. It's really easy, simple, straightforward, really user-friendly. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so go ahead and scan that QR code or click on the link that I just put in the chat. By the way, we have a lot of our coaching clients, a lot of our coaching members who are on this webinar. So hi everyone. Hi, how my coaching clients doing? I hope you're doing great. Yeah, gosh, I'm getting a lot of people saying that they are in coaching right now. Terrific. So what you need to do is scan that. What I'm going to do is get you connected with a coach, right? I'll send you that information, help you to see more about Ninja Coaching. We'll connect you with a coach. We're going to help you with that complimentary consultation to really make this work for you. We want to make this work, okay, in terms of adding value, delighting clients, building goodwill, being even more attractive. That's what we want to do. Thanks for all the really nice comments about Ninja Coaching. Thanks for a lot of great comments about today. I sure appreciate all of you. How do we do? We do okay? Did you get at least one thing? Are you ready to commit? I mean, please, say yes. Go ahead and say yes. We appreciate that. Yeah, great. Gosh, some fun comments coming through in the chat. Yeah, go ahead and scan what's on the screen. If you search back up in the chat, I'll drop it in there one more time, so you don't have to go too far. There's the link. It's called Get Started. Really easy, straightforward form. We say, yeah, tell me more about coaching. I want some help with my real estate reviews. Totally, completely complimentary. You know what, you guys, I'm going to finish with this again. What you're here to do, just be the good news hotline. Be the good news hotline. There's enough bad news out there. There's enough drama out there. There's enough stuff out there. Just be the good news hotline, right? Be that lighthouse. Be that trusted source of information. Go out and add value. Go delight your clients with this. They're so craving this. They so need this. They so want this. They're just waiting for you to help them out with information like this. It will do wonders for your business, for your career, do wonders for your relationship. We appreciate the relationship we have with all of you. Yeah, all of our coaching members on here. I'll put this recording into our resources section. And all of you are awesome. I'll do one more with our link for that. And so go ahead and click that link. Look forward to connecting with you. Thanks so much for being here today. All of you are amazing. And I wish you a great Wednesday. We'll see you really soon. You guys take care. Bye.